The image of a newborn baby evokes a sense of purity, of innocence. A tiny human fresh to the world, their life a story yet unwritten. But it also begs a question that has haunted humanity for millennia. Are we born good, or are we born evil? The history of humanity is replete with examples of both profound good and unimaginable evil. How do we reconcile these opposing forces? Are they two sides of the same coin, or are we inherently drawn to one path over the other? This question, far from being merely an academic exercise, has profound implications for how we understand ourselves and the world around us. Our exploration of good and evil takes us on a journey through time and thought, traversing the realms of philosophy, delving into the discoveries of science and confronting the complexities of human behavior. We begin with the great thinkers of antiquity whose ideas laid the foundation for our understanding of human nature. From the philosophical underpinnings, we move into the realm of science, where researchers explore the biological and environmental factors that shape our moral development. Studies on infants reveal a surprising capacity for empathy and fairness, suggesting that the seeds of morality may be present from the very beginning. Yet, genetic studies and the impact of upbringing remind us that our environment plays a crucial role in nurturing or suppressing these innate tendencies. Our journey then takes us beyond the individual, exploring how societies and cultures around the world have grappled with the concepts of good and evil. Our journey into the heart of the human moral compass begins in ancient Greece with a philosopher whose ideas have echoed through the ages, Plato. In Plato's view, the essence of our being, our soul, is not bound by the material world, but originates from a higher realm, a realm of perfect forms. But then, as Plato's allegory of the cave so vividly illustrates, we are born into the world of senses, a world of shadows and illusions. Our souls, once bathed in the pure light of goodness, are now obscured by the imperfections of the material world, our innate knowledge clouded by the distractions of earthly existence. Yet this inherent goodness is not lost but lies dormant, waiting to be rekindled. For Plato, the pursuit of knowledge was not merely an intellectual exercise, but a moral imperative. While Plato sought answers in the ethereal realm of forms, his student Aristotle grounded his philosophy in the tangible world, in observation and experience. For Aristotle, our ethical character isn't something we're born with, a preordained destiny etched into our souls. Instead, it's a carefully cultivated garden, where virtue is nurtured through practice, habit, and a commitment to finding balance in all things. Central to Aristotle's ethics is the concept of the golden mean. He believed that virtue lies in finding the middle ground between two extremes, both of which can be detrimental. By striving for this balance, by cultivating virtuous habits, we shape ourselves into ethical individuals, our actions reflecting a considered and deliberate approach to life. For Aristotle, becoming virtuous isn't about memorizing rules or adhering to dogma. From the sun-drenched discourse of ancient Greece, we shift our focus to the tumultuous 17th century England, a time of civil war and profound societal upheaval. It's here that we encounter Thomas Hobbes, a philosopher whose starkly pessimistic view of human nature stands in stark contrast to the idealism of Plato and Aristotle. Hobbes, writing in The Shadow of Conflict, believed that humanity, stripped bare of society's constraints, is inherently driven by self-preservation. Our lives a relentless pursuit of power and a desperate struggle to avoid pain. In this chaotic world, there are no moral principles, no justice, only the relentless pursuit of one's own desires and the ever-present threat of violence. To escape this brutal reality, Hobbes argues humans enter into a social contract, surrendering some of their individual freedom to a powerful sovereign, a leviathan, in exchange for protection and order. Morality, then, for Hobbes is not an inherent quality, but a social construct, a set of rules imposed from above to prevent us from descending into chaos. As we move further into the 18th century, a new perspective on the good and evil within humanity emerges, one that challenges the prevailing notions of progress and civilization. Jean-Jacques Rousseau, a French philosopher writing during the Enlightenment, presented a radical idea that humans are born inherently good, endowed with natural compassion and a sense of fairness. It is not our innate nature, he argued, but rather the corrupting influence of society that distorts our moral compass. For Rousseau, the development of private property, the rise of inequality, and the relentless pursuit of material possessions are the root causes of human misery and moral decay. Civilization, far from refining our nature, has instead shackled us with envy, greed, and a constant sense of dissatisfaction. Rousseau's legacy lies in his unwavering belief in the inherent goodness of humanity and his scathing indictment of the corrupting influence of unchecked societal progress. Our exploration of good and evil now turns to the very beginning of life, to those first moments when a newborn child enters the world, their minds seemingly a blank slate. Are we born with a moral compass already pointing towards good, or is it a compass that is carefully calibrated over time, shaped by the forces of experience? Modern research, particularly in the field of developmental psychology, offers fascinating insights into the moral lives of infants, suggesting that the seeds of morality may be present far earlier than we once thought. Imagine for a moment a group of infants barely old enough to crawl, gathered around a simple puppet show. The puppets, brightly coloured and engaging, act out a scene of helping and hindering. What researchers have discovered is that even at this tender age, infants show a marked preference for the helper puppet, gazing longer at it and even reaching out to touch it. These findings, while preliminary, challenge the traditional view that morality is primarily a product of socialization, a set of rules and values imposed from the outside. Our moral compass is influenced by the complex realm of genetics. Genes shape our predisposition towards certain moral attitudes and behaviors. Twin studies show identical twins have similar moral reasoning and empathy levels. Genes play a significant, though not deterministic, role in shaping morality. Variations in serotonin genes affect empathy and aggression. Oxytocin genes influence prosocial behavior and altruism. Environmental factors and individual choices shape the expression of these genetic predispositions. Understanding the genetic tapestry of morality reveals the intricate interplay of nature and nurture. While our genes provide the raw materials of our moral being, it is the environment, the world we experience from the moment we are born, that shapes these materials into the intricate sculpture of our moral character. Just as a lump of clay can be molded into an infinite variety of forms, so too can the human capacity for good and evil be influenced, nurtured, and even distorted by the forces of experience. From the earliest interactions with caregivers to the broader cultural norms we internalize, the nurture we receive plays a pivotal role in shaping our moral compass. Imagine for a moment two children growing up in vastly different environments. One child is raised in a loving and supportive home where empathy, fairness, and respect for others are consistently modeled and reinforced. The other child, however, grows up in an environment characterized by neglect, abuse, or exposure to violence and injustice. It's not difficult to imagine how these vastly different environments would shape the moral development of these two children. By acknowledging the powerful influence of environment, we can work towards creating societies that foster empathy, compassion, and a strong moral compass. Nature versus nurture is not a battle, but a nuanced dance, a delicate interplay between our biological inheritance and the world we experience. It's about how these forces interact, shaping the intricate tapestry of our moral being. Imagine a finely crafted violin representing our genetic predisposition. The music, shaped by the musician's skill, symbolizes nurture. Our moral character emerges from this complex interplay of genes and environment. Nature and nurture in harmony cultivate the best of what it means to be human. Our exploration of morality now enters the realm of psychology, where researchers probe the intricate workings of the human mind. One such dilemma is the trolley problem. Imagine yourself at a railway switch witnessing a runaway trolley. Ahead, 5 people are oblivious to the danger. You can divert the trolley, but one person stands on the side track. Do you pull the lever, sacrificing one to save 5, or do you remain passive, allowing the tragedy to unfold? The trolley problem forces us to confront a collision of ethical principles. It highlights the tension between our intuitive sense of right and wrong and our capacity for rational calculation. Throughout history, acts of altruism have stood as testaments to the human capacity for good. Altruistic behavior seems to defy the self-interested calculus that often governs human actions. Why would individuals engage in behaviors that benefit others at a cost to themselves? One explanation is kin selection, helping relatives to pass on shared genes, but this doesn't fully account for altruism towards strangers. Empathy, our ability to share emotions, plays a crucial role. This empathetic resonance can motivate us to act. Altruism is driven by a deep-seated emotional connection, a sense of shared humanity. Societies that emphasize cooperation and compassion foster a culture of altruism. These values shape our behavior and willingness to engage in altruistic acts. As children grow, their moral compasses evolve from simple rule-following to nuanced ethical reasoning. Jean Piaget's theory revolutionized our understanding of children's moral development. Piaget identified stages of cognitive development shaping moral reasoning. In the pre-moral stage, children are driven by immediate desires. In heteronomous morality, they see rules as absolute. By autonomous morality, they understand rules can be negotiated. In adolescence, they develop abstract moral reasoning. Piaget's stages highlight the importance of age-appropriate moral guidance. Intuition versus reason, the dual processes of moral judgment. Do we weigh pros and cons, or are our moral judgments driven by gut feelings? Both intuition and reason shape our ethical choices. Intuition compels us to act without hesitation. Reason takes center stage in complex dilemmas. Our moral judgments result from the interplay between these processes. Recognizing both helps us strive for balanced ethical decision-making. Section 1, Christianity, the doctrine of original sin. Christianity posits that humans are born with an inherent sinful nature, a consequence of Adam and Eve's transgression in the Garden of Eden. This doctrine suggests humanity's capacity for evil is a deep-seated flaw, a spiritual inheritance passed down through generations. Redemption through Jesus Christ's sacrifice offers a path to atone for inherent sinfulness and reconcile with God. Within Christianity, there are varying interpretations of original sin and its implications for human behavior. It highlights the need for humility, seeking forgiveness, and the transformative power of faith. Buddhism, the path to enlightenment and the end of suffering. Buddhism offers a unique perspective on good and evil, focusing on enlightenment and liberation from suffering. Suffering is seen as a result of attachment and ignorance. The Four Noble Truths diagnose suffering and offer a path to liberation. The Eightfold Path guides ethical conduct, mental discipline, and spiritual cultivation. Meditation, mindfulness, and compassion are key practices. Buddhism encourages self-reflection, wisdom, and compassion to minimize harm and maximize benefit. Islam emphasizes the oneness of God, submission to His will, and the profound responsibility of free will. Humans are born in a state of fitra, a natural purity and inclination towards goodness. This purity is accompanied by free will, allowing humans to choose their paths. The Quran emphasizes righteous conduct and the importance of choosing good over evil. Islam values repentance and the boundless mercy and forgiveness of God. It offers a balanced perspective on good and evil, emphasizing faith and righteousness. Our exploration of good and evil now takes us beyond organized religion to the broader canvas of human culture, where we encounter a kaleidoscope of moral codes, each shaped by unique factors. Cultural relativism challenges the notion of a universal moral code. It urges us to approach different practices with humility. By embracing diversity, we can build bridges of understanding. Our exploration of morality now enters the realm where individual conscience intersects with the collective will, the legal system. Laws reflect a society's attempt to define right and wrong, establishing boundaries between acceptable and unacceptable conduct. They are a testament to the human capacity for both good and evil, requiring external guidance and enforcement. Imagine a society without laws, where individuals pursue desires without constraint. Such a world, as envisioned by Thomas Hobbes, would descend into chaos, a war of all against all. Laws serve as a necessary restraint, a framework for peaceful coexistence. They reflect a society's values and aspirations for a just social order. Laws against murder, theft, and fraud codify our shared belief in fairness and trust. Laws promoting education, healthcare, and environmental protection reflect a commitment to future generations. However, the relationship between law and morality is complex and often contested. Laws can be unjust, reflecting biases and power dynamics. Think of the Jim Crow laws or laws criminalizing homosexuality. These examples highlight the distinction between what is legal and what is moral. Laws evolve over time, reflecting changing societal values and our understanding of justice. The abolition of slavery, women's suffrage, and same-sex marriage reflect the dynamic nature of law. Ongoing debates on issues like abortion and environmental regulations highlight the tension between liberty, responsibility, and law. From the courtroom, we shift to the classroom, where the seeds of morality are sown and nurtured. Education shapes minds, fosters critical thinking, and nurtures ethical citizens. In these years, individuals grapple with moral questions, developing their sense of right and wrong. Imagine education fostering empathy, critical thinking, and ethical principles. Children become active participants in their moral development, engaging in dialogue and ethical dilemmas. Education transmits society's moral compass to the next generation. Through literature, history, and social studies, students learn about justice and standing up for what is right. The arts develop emotional intelligence and empathy. Education's role in shaping morality faces challenges. Educators must navigate cultural differences while upholding ethical principles. Social media and the internet make critical thinking skills essential. Education extends beyond the classroom into the home and community. Parents shape their children's moral compass through their actions and values. Community involvement helps young people practice their moral values and develop social responsibility. Our exploration of morality now turns to a powerful force that both reflects and shapes our values. The media. From television screens to social media feeds, the media shapes our perceptions, beliefs, and moral compass. It is a double-edged sword capable of illuminating the path to justice or amplifying darkness. Imagine the media as a mirror reflecting our hopes, fears, and values. Stories of courage and compassion inspire kindness and empathy. Witnessing injustice can ignite our sense of outrage, motivating us to work towards fairness. However, the media's reflection is not always accurate or objective. Driven by commercial interests and political agendas, the media can distort reality, amplifying biases and perpetuating stereotypes. The selective portrayal of news and sensationalization can create distorted realities, reinforcing prejudices. The media's influence on our moral compass is often subtle and insidious. Through advertising and entertainment, the media can subtly promote certain values, shaping our desires and understanding of what it means to be good. The pursuit of material wealth, glorification of violence, and objectification of bodies can warp our perceptions of success and human worth. The media is diverse, with independent outlets and social media activism challenging dominant narratives and amplifying marginalized voices. By engaging critically with the media and seeking diverse perspectives, we can harness its power for good, shaping a more informed, just, and compassionate world. Our exploration of morality culminates in a realm where individual conscience collides with the collective will, where the boundaries of right and wrong are challenged, debated, and ultimately redefined the realm of social movements. Social movements fueled by moral outrage and a yearning for justice challenge power structures and expand our understanding of morality. They confront uncomfortable truths, demand we listen to marginalized voices, and require courage and resilience. Social movements remind us that morality is a dynamic process, constantly evolving through collective action. As we reach the end of our exploration, the question with which we began, are we born good or evil, remains a source of endless fascination and debate. The tapestry of human history, woven with threads of both profound compassion and unspeakable cruelty, offers no easy answers. We have journeyed through the hallowed halls of philosophy, delved into the intricate workings of the human mind, and witnessed the kaleidoscope of moral codes that shape cultures around the world. Yet the answer to this fundamental question remains elusive, a testament to the enduring mystery of the human condition. Perhaps then the question itself is not meant to be answered definitively, but rather to serve as a catalyst for ongoing reflection and dialogue. The very act of questioning, of grappling with the complexities of good and evil, is essential to our moral growth as individuals and as a species. It compels us to look inward, to examine our own beliefs and motivations, and to acknowledge the potential for both darkness and light that resides within each of us. The absence of a singular, definitive answer should not be seen as a source of despair or moral relativism. Rather, it is an invitation to engage in an ongoing conversation, a dialogue that transcends cultural and ideological boundaries, a shared exploration of what it means to be human in a world where good and evil are often intertwined. It is through this ongoing dialogue, this willingness to listen, to learn, and to challenge our own assumptions, that we grow as moral beings. The question of good and evil is not confined to dusty philosophical treatises or academic debates. It is a living, breathing question that confronts us every day in the choices we make, the words we speak, and the actions we take. It is in these everyday moments that we define ourselves, revealing the true nature of our character. The recognition that we are all engaged in this ongoing dialogue, that we are all grappling with the complexities of good and evil, should inspire a sense of humility and compassion. It is a reminder that none of us has all the answers, that we are all works in progress, capable of both great and terrible things. It is also a call to action, a reminder that the world we create is not predetermined, but rather shaped by the choices we make individually and collectively. The future, then, is not a preordained destination, but rather a canvas upon which we paint our shared destiny, stroke by stroke, choice by choice. Will it be a future marred by conflict, greed, and indifference? Or will it be a future where compassion, cooperation, and a deep respect for our shared humanity prevail? The answer ultimately lies within each of us. As we conclude our exploration, let us remember that the capacity for good and evil resides within us all. It is not a battle to be won or lost, but rather a tension to be navigated, a dance between darkness and light that shapes the human experience. Let us strive to nurture the seeds of compassion, kindness, and justice, not because it is easy, but because it is necessary. Let us remember that even small acts of goodness multiplied across individuals and communities have the power to transform the world. Let us choose hope over despair, compassion over indifference, and let us work together to create a future worthy of our shared humanity. The journey continues, and the choice is ours.